Hi, I'm Andy Hill, Superintendent of Schools. We're here at the beginning of a new school year with our first episode this year of Striving to be the Best. Today we're focusing on esports at the middle and the high school, and I'm joined by our coaches, Scott Formhals, Michael Kuethe, and Cindy Beeman. Afternoon, everybody.
Hey. Hi, afternoon.
Thanks for joining us. Maybe if each of you could just tell us a little bit about you and how you got involved in esports. Maybe Cindy, we'll start with you.
Well, I am currently a middle school teacher at the middle school, and I teach grades 7 and 8, and I'm a STEM teacher in technology. I have a lot of fun in my classroom. I have a lot of conversations with students. And it started that to make the connection with the students, I had to talk video games. And then I'm like, well, what if we started competing in video games? And I'm a coach at the Wadsworth High School as an assistant swim team coach. And I really saw the need to provide an opportunity for the non-traditional sports person, and esports came to my mind. I went to administration, said, hey, I want to start this, and here we are. 3 years later. Thank you guys for joining us.
Michael?
Yeah, so I'm IT help desk administrator for the entire district, and Cindy had to work closely with our department to get her esports program off the ground at the middle school. And while we were building that, she wanted to have a program at the high school so that we didn't have a dead-end program with kids who had spent 2 years, 7th and 8th grade doing this and being part of the league, and then have nothing to do at the high school. So I felt like it was a natural fit for me, having done all the legwork to get the middle school up and going. It was easy for me because I had access to everything with the network at the high school to get it actually off the ground and up and running. And it was just seemed like it'd be a really fun opportunity to have something else to do at the high school and to meet students and interact. And so, last year we got the high school one off the ground, and it's been a great experience, and it's just growing astronomically.
Very good. Scott?
I'm Scott Formhals. I teach band at the middle school and high school, also at the intermediate building as well. And throughout last year, I was just kind of keeping an eye on what was happening in the district, and I saw that Cindy was doing something with esports. And I'm an avid gamer. I love to play games. I grew up playing games. And so I asked if I could just swing by, check it out, see what was going on. And she said, yeah, come on down. And I showed up, and I just saw a really great passion from Cindy of wanting to get these students involved. And she was looking for some extra help, and she asked me, and I was more than happy to, because I think it's awesome. I think that when we talk about video games, we bring in a different student that we sometimes don't reach with our other programs. And so with the esports program, we're able to reach out and just have a broader community outreach through everybody involved. So I think it's awesome.
That's great. Well, we definitely appreciate the efforts of all three of you in being able to be the leaders and bring this initiative to the district with students. So 3 years, we're in our third season at the middle school, is that right? And we're going to be entering year 2 at the high school. So tell us a little bit about, if we don't know what happens in esports, tell us what we'd see if we came and watched. What are students doing?
First of all, they are communicating. These are students that are very quiet throughout the day. Not all of them, but some are very withdrawn. And they get into esports right into that environment, and they are talking, they are communicating, they're leading each other, they're talking game strategy, and I'm like, where are you? You never talk that way about my class in my classroom. So I'm excited. So when you see them in there communicating, it's just a whole new environment. They're making new friends that they hadn't made before. They're reaching out, community, supporting each other. I don't know. You guys want to add?
I think what I've seen with the older kids at the high school, it's been a little bit different. I've gotten some of the kids from the middle school program, but at the high school I've got a lot of kids who, especially a lot of them already know each other, so they're bringing friends in. And I get kids that were already playing esports and already kind of thinking about what they can do with this, after high school, whether it be college or some sort of semi-professional field. So I've had a lot of students that already come in really competitive and really energized to want to compete and want to test their skills against other schools. And it's been I've had natural team leaders step in the program, team captains that just go, don't worry, I'll organize it, I'll find your best players. And they've just come in with a lot of energy for the program and wanting to make it better.
Very good. So anything you want to add, Scott? Okay.
Yeah, they covered it.
So students are competing against other schools in different games, right? So tell us what does a contest look like? What from the standpoint of how many kids compete and how does that work? And what games are our students competing in?
So at the high school this season, we are competing in a few different games. Smash Brothers and Mario Kart we did last season, continuing this season. Likely Mario Kart dropped off a little bit. And then Apex, we have a team that was trying Apex Legends. We'll see if they do, I don't know. But then also Valorant and possibly Overwatch are the big esports college titles. And we've got teams playing those. What a match day would look like is, so you have Premier, which is your varsity level, and then there's a club level. So say we have our Premier team in there on a Valorant day. There's 5 students, they log into their computer with a microphone, headset. We match make through the platform called League OS, which Esports Ohio uses to do all their matchmaking. And we'll join a queue, and whatever school is ready, they join a match with that school, and then it'd be our 5 players versus those 5 players playing online. But each school is in their home school, in their lab. Nobody's allowed to play from home. And then each game has its own specifics and pretty unique rule set. But the students then, without interference from the coach, I'm not allowed to coach during a match. The team captain has to communicate and run their match, and they play through the completion of the match until whoever the winner is. And it goes that way each different night of the week for each game, depending on what we're playing that night. And the league has designated nights for each game.
Very good. And how about the middle school? Do you play different games than what the high school students are?
We
or
do.
compete in different games?
Yes, we play different games. On Monday nights, we play Mario Kart. On Tuesday night, we play Rocket League, because you love Rocket League.
Oh, yes.
And I have to tell you, when you think of Rocket League, you're probably thinking of rockets, blasting off, because that's what I did. And I'm a little older than these folks up here, so I think of that. But Rocket League is 3 go-karts. I think of them as go-karts that go around in the stadium, can flip upside down, and they're playing soccer.
Soccer, right?
And they're playing soccer. So the kids really enjoy that. And on Wednesday, we play Minecraft Bed Wars, which is huge popularity. And Thursday is Smash, Nintendo Smash. What's your favorite game?
I like Rocket League. I think it's really fun to flip around and just try and score a goal and do crazy different things. It's crazy how easy of a concept it is to hit a ball with a car, but all of the intricate things these people can do, and it's really awesome just to see
I've
how
seen
creative.
bits and pieces of that. My son used to play Rocket League a lot,
Yeah.
and was trying to understand what was going on at first. And
That's what
So-
impressed me last year, because Coach Formhals walked in. At that time, maybe you weren't coach, but I was trying to get him involved. And he was sitting there talking about skills, and I'm like, oh yeah, I've seen that done, but I'm like, did I know how to coach that student? And he was talking up to the players, and then that was right after that match. I was like, okay, you got to come coach with these kids, because they really relate to you. You did awesome playing like that.
so how have our teams done?
Well, in my first year last year, the only Premier team I had was Smash Brothers, because we started with basically a TV and 2 Nintendo Switches, and that's all we had at the time, so it's all we could play. And with very little preparation, my Premier Smash Brothers team made it to regionals, which is all the regular season matches are done in the school. Regionals are done in person. It was at Baldwin Wallace. So that was phenomenal. I was excited the first season to be making any sort of playoffs with kids I hadn't met, with a program I wasn't familiar with. So we went and competed. Unfortunately, a couple of my kids got really nervous, because you figure these are kids that are used to, it's video games. You're used to sitting at home in front of your TV, in your couch, or in your bedroom. So the nerves got to them when they actually had to sit down next to their opponent and make that eye contact with the person that they were playing. We still had a good showing, but we got knocked out in regionals. But we're going back, and especially my Smash Brothers team, they learned from that. They know what they needed to work on. I actually had 2 kids take the initiative over the summer, went to a Smash Brothers tournament entirely on their own to compete in, just to get that practice for in-person playing. So we're excited. Hopefully this year we'll go further.
It's great.
with Smash.
How about the middle school?
Well, the middle school started out in my classroom. We had 2 smart boards that I ran Nintendo Switches on, and we started out with Smash. And that first year, we did really well with that team that you're talking about.
Yeah,
Some of
same
those
kids,
kids,
yeah.
We went right up to the club level, so we were at the club level, and we won that year. We were champions
Of the state.
of the state, and it was so exciting, and I think that's where it got our attention. And then we grew the program in my room and got computers to play all the other PC games and more Nintendo Switches. And today, at that time, that first year, I had 8 players. I have 41 this year on my roster. And we have a full room dedicated. It's no longer my classroom. A full room dedicated with lots of computers. We just upped it to 12 gaming computers. Thank you to my tech department and my whining.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for meeting those needs. And we have 6 Nintendo Switches playing. And we are playing every night, 4 nights a week, year round.
That's amazing. Do you know off the top of your heads how many schools in the state have esports teams that we're competing against?
For the high school level, I think there's just shy of 90 high schools in the state of Ohio that are competing.
Last year I counted for the middle schools, there were 62
All right, that's
teams.
fantastic.
So they haven't updated the website yet this year for how many people. We're just in registration. It closes this Friday.
So at least for me, this is where things get a little surprising. I understand everybody loves to game and all that, but talk about opportunities for kids moving into college. What kind of opportunities, scholarships are available to kids that are wanting to look at esports?
So with Ohio especially, Ohio was one of the first states that had colleges really getting into esports programs. And Akron U especially has one of the largest esports programs in the country now. And they offer pretty large scholarships for any of the big titles that are played in esports. And they actively recruit from area high schools. The league we participate in is really good. Esports Ohio is the league. They're really good about putting high school coaches and players in contact with these colleges. Yeah, and around here, Baldwin-Wallace, where we played regionals, they have a huge esports program, big facility dedicated to it. Akron U's got a great facility. Ashland University has an esports program. And all of these schools offer scholarships for esports. So there's just tons of opportunities in Ohio for kids to continue on and pay for at least some of their education with scholarships by playing video games competitively.
That's amazing. That's fantastic. Anything else, you guys, on that topic? Yeah. So talk about beyond college then. Is there a career in esports that kids can do? What does that look like?
It's similar to, I think about it of like, if you want to be a pro football player. Like, everybody wants to do that, wants to play football. Same thing with video games. Anybody that's somewhat competitive has a dream at some idea of wanting to compete on the large stage. So there's, of course, being a professional video game player, but there's a lot of like opportunity as far as making a competition run in esports. There's the social media team, the marketing team, the people that help just set it all up, the IT team. There's tons of things, and that's just like in the esports realm, and then you can get into like game design and all sorts of just technology stuff to even play the games.
I also see the animation of it. A lot of my players come in with their animated characters. They're like, I'm going to make a video game of this someday. And I'm like, that is exciting. Then I tell them, put a story behind it, so the story starts a video game, and put a story behind it. And then they start to build it, and they've been breaking down scenes. So it's amazing what they're doing at that level and thinking about it. And then that opens my conversation up to, you could do this as a career. And I talk about the Pittsburgh Institute of Art at Pittsburgh. They're really big into the gaming. And Ohio University down in Athens is really big, and they have a summer program about game development. So that's also another area that we can talk about. And it just sort of helps set their goals. And we talk about get involved with the school program and go up to your media program up in our 4 cities compact and get involved that way.
Also, like you mentioned, like how there's the pro level, but like any other sport, it's really hard to get into pro level in anything, in esports and video games. But a lot of people without any expensive software, they do YouTube streaming, or Twitch is another popular platform. And they can do that right away. You can download a program called OBS, Open Broadcasting Software, and kids can download, or whatever, 18, 19-year-olds, they can immediately just start their own channel and play video games on those and stream. And there are people out there, there's millionaires who have just done it off streaming video games online. So that's something that they can just do right away too.
Wow. So you mentioned, both of you have mentioned at the high school and middle school level, the rooms. So can you talk a little bit about the spaces then that have been created in each building where the kids are competing?
So at the high school, they're called extended learning areas at the end of our main hallways, but they were supposed to be spaces where students could go in, and I think what they called it 3D learning at the time, but the spaces were underutilized. So we had one that was empty in the high school, and I talked to Dr. Super, our principal. I'm like, hey, this would be a great space for me. We've got windows in front of it, which I absolutely love because people can walk by and see it. And we weren't using it, so Dr. Super said, yeah, absolutely, go ahead, you can have that space. So with the help of some sponsors, which is okay if I mention?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, so Kimmel Heating and Cooling and CityLink have both sponsored the high school program for at least the next 3 years, which has been phenomenal. It gave us the ability to go out and purchase 12 pretty good gaming PCs and good monitors, which we would have probably never been able to do without them. And so over the summer, I built that lab with the 12 PCs, got some nice lighting, gave it that gaming look, along with a couple other big screen TVs and a couple more Nintendo Switches. So we have what's a pretty modern computer lab / esports facility that kids, same thing, it's a dedicated space. We meet every Monday through Thursday after school. They can come down, and the kids that play Smash have space to play on the Nintendos, and the kids that play PC games have their own space in the lab that they can sit and work and focus on developing their skills there.
Very good. We just had the kind of dedication of that room a week ago with representatives from Kimmel Heating and Air Conditioning and CityLink, and of course our partner in advertising and sponsorship, Partner Marketing, and Mark Phelps. We thank him for his initiative to help us in that too.
Absolutely. Yeah,
So how about the middle school, Scott and Cindy? What do we have at the middle school?
I got Scott up on a ladder this summer.
Yeah.
And we put some awesome LED lighting and it lighted. So when the students come in, they play, we turn off all the classroom lights. And they play more in the dark per se, but it's not dark because we have windows, but dark atmosphere. And we have the ceiling is lit up with the red LED lights.
So they're showing some
There they
pictures
go.
here as you describe it.
And we also have some of our donors helped put a huge Grizzly Esports neon light that sets the atmosphere in it. We have gaming furniture. I'm going to tell you that probably half of my players, which is amazing, to me, they don't have Nintendo Switches at home. They've never sat in a gaming chair and equipment. They've never had a mouse pad that lights up and it's a gaming one and it's quick. They've never had the access to playing on a keyboard and using a keyboard to game. And that is awesome activity to just give them the experience. I'm fumbling. But to give them that experience in my classroom, they're excited about it.
That's great. Well, is there, before we wrap up here today, anything else you'd like to add about esports?
I would.
Yeah.
A conversation we just had on Monday, which was phenomenal. A lot of our games have texting and chatting throughout the game, and these students do go home and play. And it's been all in the news that students get themselves in trouble when they're online. This opens up an awesome opportunity for us to talk to the students about being respectful, building your own character, who to talk to, who not to talk to, who to contact an adult as some conversation gets involved. And I just think it's a big safety issue right now, and it's a great conversation to have with especially the younger students. I know at the high school, hopefully they're more developed and they're more aware of where they're at in line, but not always do my 7th graders know where to talk. So it's good that we're there mentoring that, and the school district gives us that opportunity. And I'd like to say thank you to my donors too, because a lot of my donors have helped in my room.
I just want to shout out to my players this year. I'm not a teacher, no background in that, no experience working with students in day to day like these two have. They've got training in it, they've got experience. For me, it was a jump in. I have a similar hobby. I'm into gaming myself. But last season with my 10 or 11 kids I had, and this season with 36, they have all been phenomenal. I've not had a single discipline issue, no profanity, none of the things that I think there's a stereotype around how kids behave playing video games. My high school kids have just been great this season, so it's really promising for a spectacular season.
That's great. Scott, anything?
I just want to say, thanks to the board and to your help in making our program successful. I think, and when we talk to some of our other colleagues, we hear how much pushback that they get from their board or from the district of just how hard they have to fight to even attempt to get the opportunity. And so I feel like we've had it very easy to be able to present this opportunity to the students and just get them involved. And So I feel very grateful for the opportunity.
Yeah, we're really fortunate. Our Board of Education is very supportive of opportunities for students, and I think they view it as the more that we can offer, the more we can get kids involved, the more the kids are involved, the better it is for everybody, including this community. And so, you know, we're fortunate for their leadership to be able to pave way and make things like this happen for us. You mentioned sponsors. Is there anybody that I know you personally are probably one of the biggest, if not the only, I don't know. But is there anybody else that is donated? We recognize the high school. I don't want to leave anybody out.
Just me personally
Okay.
at this time, but I am open. Families have talked about it, sponsoring our room, so me
Sure.
personally.
Yeah, it's so we're with, you know, the initial donors were interested in the high school space, the middle school, with being able to enhance some of that stuff beyond what you've already done. That's incredible. Is definitely on our list, just so you know. So before we run out of time here, tell us when the season starts, and if somebody wanted to watch, is there a way that they could actually watch our students compete?
The season starts the second week of November,
Yeah, November
formally.
10th.
So I've tried, and we'll see how it goes this season because I'm a lot busier with way more teams. But I have it's Wadsworth Esports YouTube channel. I think just search for Wadsworth Esports. Last season I was able to stream all of my matches live on there. I hope to stream as much as I can this season, but I'll absolutely have all the recorded videos uploaded, usually a day or two after. They're all on there. The entire last season's on the Wadsworth Esports YouTube channel, so anybody can go back and see how we did last season.
Fantastic. In the middle.
We are looking forward to someday streaming.
Does your season start in November too?
Ours starts in November 10th, and we go through almost March.
Yeah,
Almost
That was a
March.
change, right? Is there just one season
One
now
season.
One season
instead
now.
of two
One
that
long.
there had been?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we're looking forward to that. If any, I'm very open to any parents coming and watch of the players. I'm open to anybody. We have room in our room. If they're interested and they want to contact me, we can set up some time and they can come in and see our room.
Okay.
You will be blown away. I also want to say to those families and communities, you know, if you have somebody at home always playing video games and it drives you crazy, it's an opportunity for their future. I always say maybe it's not such a bad thing, and come join the esports team. Come join. We're always open.
Very good. Well, thank you for all that you're doing. It is definitely a great opportunity for our kids, and so we appreciate, you know, the little bit that we're able to pay in stipends never comes anywhere close to the amount of time that people put into it. So there's no doubt that when people coach or moderate different things, they do that out of a passion for whatever they're doing and a love for working with kids. So thank you for doing that for us. The kids definitely benefit because of you. So we definitely appreciate that. Maybe we'll have you on again in the spring when the season's over so we can hear how we did and maybe have some students with us too.
Oh, that'd be great.
Yeah, that'd be great. So until next time, Wadsworth, thank you for watching another episode of Striving to Be the Best, and thank you for your continued support of our school district.
You are watching WCTV, Wadsworth Community Television.